Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. This is FEDEX Draconis coming with you with another toy review video. And this weekend's review is going to be on Gigawatt. He is one of the Transformers crossover figures. Now, I'm pretty sure that by now a lot of you have already seen reviews of this. So what I'm going to be showing off may not be of any surprise, or it may be just, another reviewer. I'm pretty much coming in late on this. I did wind up ordering this through Walmart.com, through the mobile app, and I wound up getting it, as a matter of fact, when I went to my post office box yesterday. So I am very, very pleased. Now, one thing I do have to say, and I've been seeing a whole lot of flack on this, was the way it was shipped. Some of my friends who have ordered Gigawatt, or basically any Transformer, have noticed that it's been dented, it's been bent, and whatnot. When I got this, and I opened it up over at the post office box, as you see it here, that is how it came. No bends, no creases, no tears whatsoever. So, I mean, what you see here is what you are getting. And I'm very, very impressed. The figure just inside the open window is amazing. The artwork, which sort of like a robotic version of Marty McFly, in the same stance as he's done. That's pretty awesome. You got the Back to the Future logo, the exiting profile of the DeLorean, Transformers, Heroic Autobot. On one side, you got the product shot here. And you have to excuse the glare. I am using my ring light on this, in both vehicle as well as robot mode. On the other side, you have what looks like to be the trailer that holds the DeLorean in. So that is pretty awesome. And on the back, you have his tech spec. And it shows, that his function is a time traveler, and the quote that says, "You're never out of time when you're a time traveler. When Marty and Doc Brown need a ride through time, Gigawatt is ready to fly." And then, of course, you have his regular tech spec readouts here. So it's pretty awesome. I like it. And, of course, it's done in multiple languages here, so if you know how to read the multiple languages, great, I applaud you. Me, however, I'm lucky enough, I know 2 languages, English and bad English. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and turn this around one more time. Oh, almost forgot. And of course, we have on the top of the box is the transformation sequence from vehicle to robot. And on the bottom, you got some more product shots right there. And then, of course, the 2020, Back to the Future Transformers collaboration. So that is awesome. So without any further ado, let's get him open up. And to loosely quote Optibotimus, let's see how cool he really is. Alright folks, there he is, out of his box, and he is ready to roll. Now, something I discovered within the box, and I want to be able to show that to you right now. Now, of course, as I showed you earlier, it gives you that motif, so you can be able to open up the box to release them, and it folds down like so. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the plastic insert, but also the paper insert as well. So this is what I'm going to show you next, and that's the schematics for the DeLorean. Mentions the flux capacitor, 2.21 gigawatts, or gigawatts, however you want to pronounce it. And there's the design for the flux capacitor, which makes time travel possible. All right, let's get that puppy back into the box again. Yeah. All right. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at Gigawatt. And wow, I am very, very floored. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of his accessories. Now, this is basically the lightning rod, which connects directly into the flux capacitor through this little port right here. Right there. And of course, we can probably go ahead and put that in there. Like now. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. You know, as a matter of fact, let's do a full-on shot there. Alright. Now, another accessory I want to go ahead and show you is his blaster right here. And it's not too bad, but again, it's got that hollow issue that I'm really not liking. This is a trend that unfortunately is being basically has been imported from the Power of the Primes line. Not a big fan of this. Now, the front part where at the barrel, that I can understand, especially if you're going to put in blast effects and stuff like that. You want a place to plug that in. But the rest of that, honestly, if a company like Non-F were to make their own variation of this, but more solid like this, and this is a the Non-F G1 inspired weapon for Siege Sideswipe. And as you can tell, there's very little of this gappage that you see here with this. Just in certain areas, but the rest is pretty much solid. That's what I liked. This, not a big fan of. I mean, but because it is his weapon, I will hang it on until I can find a replacement for it, because this is, yeah, I'm not jazzed on that. I'm going to put this aside because the last thing I want to do is rant and rave because of that. Another accessory, and you saw it earlier, and that is Mr. Fusion. And that is pretty awesome. Now, however, as you can tell, it is angled a bit. I tried to do it, just straight on, but for some reason it will not hook on. You have to angle it out, put it at an angle in order for it to hook up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a quick look at the instructions, because from what I understand, the transformation is very similar to Siege Sideswipe. And yeah, so basically when you transform him, it's basically, yeah, even in the illustrations it kind of shows Mr. Fusion a bit off to the side, not straight on. Okay. Now, of course, there is some storage for his main weapon right under here, and as you can tell, there is a port right there, so you can be able to put that like that, and it still rolls a bit, but I can still feel how it's kind of dragging, so I may not put it on there, you know, in the long run. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out just a bit. There we go. So it kind of drags on the ground. Another thing that it also does, and let's see here, do I have it? Yes. Okay, so I do have a bit of a flight stand, and oh yeah, okay, so I'm going to put this right here. Now, zoom out just a bit more. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the wheels into his hover mode, and of course that's actually awesome looking. Oh man. Alright. Now one other thing I want to show off while I got him in this mode is that his doors open up like so. That is awesome. There we go. Alright, so before I go ahead and start transformation, give me a moment to take a couple pics while I have them in this mode, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I took a few pics of him on the flight stand and everything. So what we have right now is a bit of a vehicle comparison between Gigawatt and Siege Sideswipe, and as you can tell, they pretty much scale. Of course, the way the body is, the DeLorean is a little bit longer, and I want to show that to you now side by side, and they are a bit longer, but height wise they're pretty much almost at each other, because they are kind of low to the floor here. And let's push those back just a bit to get them in range. Yeah, that is pretty awesome there. So okay, I'm going to go ahead and get Sideswipe out of the way, and we're going to go ahead and work on the transformation. Alright folks, thank you for waiting. I had to readjust my camera angle in order for me to get a more wider shot so I can be able to keep them in frame when I'm transforming them, because unfortunately I got a little bit of a problem trying to stay in frame because I'm looking outside and not through the camera. So anyway, moving on. In preparation, I went ahead and put Mr. Fusion on top of his blaster here. Now normally the picture shows it back here, which I can easily do. That's not a big deal right there. So there he is, right at the butt of his weapon. But I'm thinking that it may hit the bicep of his arm, so I'm just going to go ahead and place them right on top. That's not too bad. I like that. I'll put him right there. Now, we're going to go ahead and start off with the transformation. Now, to do that, and let's go ahead and focus. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and open up the gold wings, like so. And do the same thing here. Yes, I know I have them upside down. Alright, now, because this is a total retool, you know, there are certain pieces that basically need to be taken care of, like this piece right here. You need to fold that down like so, and fold this portion down. Good gravy. Oh. Okay. Yeesh. Seriously? There we go. Ugh. So, fold that down. This will allow these arms to fold out, like so. Now, fold these out, like so as well. Now, the next thing we're going to do, these wheels, like we had them earlier in hover mode, we're going to have to fold these down like that, and like that, and then turn the wheels in on itself, like so. Now, this should allow the hood of the car to move forward. As you can tell, you already see the head. Now we're gonna fold this out, but before we do anything further, we gotta push this portion out. And I think, ooh, there we go. Oh, good gravy! This thing is a pain in the ass to, oh, for God's sake. Oh, there we go. Alright, now before we go ahead and move this portion down, we gotta go ahead and turn this around. Now, this was the bottom of the undercarriage. We're going to open that up to reveal his legs, fold that out, and we're going to push these portions in to push out the feet, like so. Now, for those that didn't see it the first time, I'm going to push these down or in, and this will allow the feet to go out. Once that's there, we're going to close that front portion and open up his legs. Now that is done, we're going to go ahead and push this hood down. Now there is a tab right here that goes into that slot right there. And there we go. Now, there is one other thing. There is, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try and see if I can put some light, but trust me, there is a tab right here that goes into the slot on the side of the arm. And then you're just going to go ahead and snap that in there. And there we go. All right. Alrighty, and there is Gigawatt. And let's see if I can try and get this angle adjusted here and zoom in. Alright, now we got some accessories to hook up, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Hook up his little lightning rod, and we're going to put in his blaster. And there we go. And I have to say, that is really not all that bad. Okay, folks, so there he is in robot mode. And we're going to go ahead and look into articulation. So I'm going to go ahead and take off some of his accessories. And there we go. So we're going to go ahead and he's got head rotation going left, right. It is on a ball joint, so you can turn 360. I want to say he can look up, but not by much. He can look down, but very little. He can't. His arm can turn 360. He can, move his arm up. It's got a bicep rotation. His arm can turn around 90 degrees. There is no wrist rotation, but it can fold in for transformation. He does have a waist rotation. He can kick out about 90 degrees. He can kick back around 90 degrees. He can do the full Van Damme. There's barely any type of knee bend on there. And I'm thinking it's just due to the way this portion is, like so. He does have a upper thigh rotation, and he does have an amazingly degree of ankle tilt. So, not too bad. Let's take a look at some of the sculpting on this. Now he's got a really good head sculpt here, and then of course he has the screen for the time circuits and the flux capacitor in his chest. And man, that is awesome. And he's got that I can see what others were talking about in terms of their reviews of this figure. That type of very dry brush on his hood and whatnot. Very nice. I like it. That clear plastic that shows up the flux capacitor, the molded pieces on there, very similar to how Sideswipe's arms are, with the exception of this portion over here. The gold wing doors also is totally different. We'll zoom out here. And then of course the back of his calves shows, the back of the DeLorean, the way it looks in this case. I want to say the transparent dark windows gives it a very nice touch. So not too bad. Let's go ahead and put his weapon on there. Now I may be wrong about his, oh yeah, no, I am right. You can't really put the Mr. Fusion on the back of his blaster because it's not going to allow the peg, of his gun to fit into his fist. So that's something I may not even bother with at this point. So other than that, that is pretty awesome looking. And yeah, I want to try and get him posed up in the same way that he was posed, for back to. Sorry about that. I accidentally hit the wrong button. As I was saying, I wanted to get him posed up for a couple of photos, the way he was for Back to the Future. Yeah, there we go. Like he's looking at he's looking at his chronometer on his forearm. It's not a bad looking figure. I really like it. Ever since I saw it, it's like, wow. Good gravy. when, like I said, when I first heard of it, I so wanted to get it. Unfortunately, when this first came out originally through Walmart.com, I had to say I was pretty upset because, scalpers went ahead and just bought the whole thing out. And my camera seems to not, well, it's not, I don't think it's the camera, I think it's the damn stand I'm using. It's using this type of rubbery thing that, sorry, I'm trying to transform, side swipe at the same time, and one of the pieces is kind of hard. But as I was explaining, it's where basically I think Walmart finally had to go ahead and start making some changes. I think every online retailer had to make changes on this. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of minutes, bring out Sideswipe once again. We'll do a size comparison and my final thoughts. Alright, there they are side by side, and I'm liking it. If I were to have any complaints about it, about this about this mold, is that this little thing will not stay on the car unless you have it at a certain angle. Also, let me see, do I have any other complaints? Am I gonna be that nitpicky? I have to say I don't really have any complaints at this time. Well, no, I stand corrected. I do, unfortunately. This chest piece was a bitch and a half to flip over. It is this thing is really, really tight in certain areas. So if you do pick one up, be very careful. Be very, very mindful as to how much pressure you put on it. Because, I mean, like I said before, it is a piece of plastic and only has certain tolerances. So far I'm not seeing any type of stress marks on the figure or anything like that. But that's the one thing that I'm worried about when it comes down to this chest piece. Now, it's not like I've got a big display, or anything like that to begin with. But I mean, once I do, then more than likely, some of the original boxes that these figures came in may wind up going, and I'll probably put them in robot mode most of the time. But because this one came in vehicle mode in its own box, I am going to go ahead and put them back in there after this review. But for the time being, I'm liking it. It's got good posability. I do notice that it was kind of soft, but I mean, you can wibble it, and it's still in one. Wow. Just trying to get this thing to stand. It's not wibbly wobbly. It's got some good posability and whatnot. It's not loose or anything like that. Let's see. I think also one of the biggest gripes that I think certain people have is that his chest is so big and wide, and it's so high up. It's sort of like with Sideswipe here. His chest is so high up, so to get a good range of motion in terms of when his head turns, that it doesn't actually look like he's looking at the actual shoulder or anything like that. That may be just something on there. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm definitely going to put him as a 9. Just certain things, with this, not tapping onto the back without sitting in a certain angle, and of course the stiffness of it. I don't want it to be ultra loose. I want it to be to where there's enough, you know, to where you can easily pop, you know, certain pieces open and whatnot without having to go ahead and take a chisel and a hammer and try to pry the damn thing open. So other than that, that is about it. So let me put the question out to you all. Do you happen to have this? Were you able to get it on the first run or on the most recent run? And if so, do you like it? Do you hate it? You know, leave me your thoughts and comments about this figure in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe to this channel. Every like, share, view, subscription helps out my channel immensely. And of course, if you wish to contribute, you know, in any way, shape, or form, I got information about that in the description down below as well. So this is Phoenix Draconis, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.